The degree to which a person can grow is directly proportional to the amount of truth that he can accept about himself without running away. So I had a really good conversation with a friend of mine and fellow coach the other day. And he had reached out to me and voiced some concerns about how he was coaching his own boy. He was worried that he was being too hard on him, that he was, when he would make a mistake and he was correcting him or he was pushing him too hard, that he needed to remember that, one, they're young, but two, he just felt he was being too critical. And he had asked me if I would kind of step in when it came to his boy specifically. He had recognized that his kiddo responded better to others. And this conversation humbled me, one, because he asked me, he thought high enough of me and my coaching that I would do that. But most importantly, it inspired me, because I've only known this gentleman for 3 or 4 months now. We got introduced when this new team was formed. But what I can tell you is that this is a guy right here that is striving to be a better man, try to be a better father, and it's awesome. So it reminded me of this quote the other day by, I don't know who it's by, so let's look it up here real quick. It's by Leland Val Vanderwall. I don't know who he is, but this quote is awesome. And the quote says, "The degree to which a person can grow is directly proportional to the amount of truth that he can accept about himself without running away." Man, that is powerful. So yeah, think about that. That is self-awareness and the mindset that you want to grow, that you want to get better. You've got to go down that path with yourself, and you've got to realize the good and the bad about your character and who you are. And that's where you will find the real growth, is being able to be honest with yourself and understanding those truths. And even when someone is critical of you, you've got to be able to look at that and say, well, why are they being critical of me? Is there some truth to that? And if there is truth to it, you've got to be able to accept it and then not run away from it. You've got to confront that head on. And the degree to which you are able to do that will be directly proportionate to how much you are willing to grow and how much you are able to. And if you don't limit yourself in your beliefs of who you are and the truths of who you are, the amount at which you can grow is boundless. Nobody can put any limitations on that. And the conversation that we had the other day really reminded me of this. That he was sitting back and critically thinking about who he was and what he was bringing to the table. And he realized that there may be some flaws in the way that he was handling things. And that's a huge step, because he did not want to affect his relationship with his boy, nor did he want to ruin the love of the game that his boy has. And that's such a huge thing that was inspiring to me, because he was able to recognize, maybe some of his shortcomings. And that's the first step into growth, right? Is realizing that. But then he wanted to take that one step further. And how can I improve? What can I do? And so we had a conversation about that. And he knew that I had a little bit more experience with the coaching, just because I have an older boy that I've been coaching for the last 8 years. And so I've gone through all that. And I let him know, like, hey, that's a pretty normal thing, right? I mean, there's all these memes all over the internet about, the parent coach and everything, and how they coach their kid.
Hey, Braxton, you ready, bro? Here we go. Come on, Bentley. You got it, bud. Jalen, get up. Get in front of it.
And we talked about how we both strive to not treat any athletes any different. And one of the ways that I told him that I do this with my boys is from an early age when we start, is I let them know, listen, when we're on the field or on the court or whatever it is, I am coach number one. I'm always going to be dad if they need me to be, but I am coach, because I don't want to treat any kid any differently. I don't want to give any preference to any kid, whether that be praise or criticism. I try to be across the board with everybody. Now, I'm not perfect, and I can understand that, and I can admit that. But if we are aware of that, then we know we can then grow as people. So again, I was just super inspired by this, and it gave me a whole nother level of respect for this individual. That's the type of people that I want in my life. You don't have to be the person that's on the top of their game, that's at the top tier. But we have to be able to be willing to grow, have that growth mindset, have that understanding and that realization that, hey, we're not perfect, and that's okay, but we're willing to admit that, and we're not going to shy away from it. We're going to do everything in our power to do better and to be better every single day. And yes, I'm talking about this coaching situation, but we can do that with all aspects of our life. And those are the type of people that I want to have in my life. And I could see that he truly wanted it, because then even later on at another practice, we talked about it further. And just listening to what he had to say, it really made me feel empathetic for his situation, because I've been there and I'm there all the time. And in fact, we talked about how sometimes that I feel, now that I know this and I'm aware of this, that I do an overcorrection, right? Sometimes I'm not as critical, or I try to shy away from criticizing or correcting my boy, because I don't want it to be viewed as if I am giving him preferential treatment. But see, that's the thing, and we've talked about it before, is surrounding yourself with a solid circle of people. And I told him that's what I really like about the coaching staff that we have, is there's such good individuals that, yes, they know the sport, but that's not the most important thing to me. Are they good with youth? Are they good with the kids? Do they strive to be better all the time? Do they try to build a relationship with each of these children individually? That's what's important. And it just made me feel like this guy, he's on it. He knows what he's doing. He's striving to be a better man, be a better person. And so I share this story and message with you because this is one thing that we've got to be able to do in our lives. Own up to our truths about ourselves and not run away from them. Because here's the thing, once you start going down that path, it can be a scary and dark path to go down. But it is an important one to do. You've got to face your flaws. You've got to own up to them, and you've got to chase them. You can't run away from them. That's how you grow as a human being. That's one of the ways that you grow as a human being and you strengthen your mindset, is confronting yourself, going down those dark paths, understanding them and working through them. And then because you recognize that, you're going to be aware of it and you can do things to correct it. So I hope that this message inspired you and pushes you to maybe look at those truths about yourself. I appreciate you being here and spending some of your time with me today. I really do. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing and share this with a friend if you think that it would benefit them. And as always, make the day great, make the day yours. We'll catch you next time. See ya!